Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.
Do you think you're better than me, do you? Say it. You think you're better than me.
I am. Always have been.
Maybe you didn't notice. Angel's with me.
And how'd you get him, Faith? Magic. You cast some sort of spell? Because in the real world, Angel would never touch you, and we both know it. You had to tie me up to beat me. There's a word for people like you, Faith. Loser.
Everybody, and welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our reviews, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 17, titled Enemies, directed by David Grossman, written by Douglas Petrie. Original air date March 16th, 1999, to an audience of 5.94 million people. And yeah, this is a banger of an episode, man. This has got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, our predictions were wrong.
Yeah.
I'm happy they were.
I mean,
we couldn't have predicted
some
this.
of them. Yeah, some of them were wrong, some of them were right, but wow, there's a lot of twists in this bad boy.
My prediction of Faith being like, she wouldn't really kill someone really goes flying out the window here.
Oh yeah,
because she's taking a hill turn that I still didn't see it going this dark.
There's a lot of stuff here that's really cool in concept and how it's done, like the ways, the twists that happen. They're cool, but when you think about them for a second, you're like, wait, how did any of this happen? That's
always the tricky thing about a really good twist. Because you're like, that twist, awesome. It's an awesome twist happening in it. I mean, most people listening already know what it is, but we'll do it when it happens.
Yeah.
But you have to be like, okay, so that twist happened. Then you go back and you think about everything that happened before. And you're like, wait, why did that happen then?
Yeah. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? How did that happen? When did that happen?
And on this podcast, we'll go through all of that.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Quick plug, Booty Burlesque at El Cid, 8 o'clock, September 14th in the LA area. That's all I got. Anything for you, Vance?
No, I'm good.
All right, well then let's fucking get into this so we don't have another 2-hour episode like a doppelganger. We probably will end up doing a 2-hour episode on this because craziness. But this episode opens up with a recap of the entirety of Faith's character.
Yeah. I was like, is she going to die in this episode?
We get to see everything that she's done in the show basically so far. Here's the quick cliff notes on who Faith is.
Yeah.
And so it actually opens up with Angel and Buffy leaving a movie called La Banquette d'Amelia.
Oh, you wrote it down.
Yes, I even looked it up.
It's a real movie?
It's not a real movie.
Okay.
They made it up. I was like doing my Vance Tucker research on this. Like, you usually are the one that looks this kind of stuff up.
True.
And I was like, I'm going to beat Vance to the punch on this one. And I Googled it and it was like, it's a movie that they made up for this movie.
I just wrote down sexy foreign French movie.
Yeah, it's a quote unquote very artistic movie. Buffy and Angel seem shell shocked by it. Apparently there's a lot of like sexual kinky stuff going on. Some demonic stuff maybe as well.
I also don't think in Sunnydale they play modern day movies. Because they're always going to Buster Keaton screenings. They're always referencing something. There's a moment that Buffy makes a reference to something that her character would have no knowledge of. But yeah.
So they're basically talking about if they liked this artistic movie and its sexual nature, and Buffy basically is like, sorry if that got you going crazy, Angel. Sorry that we can't do any of that. And Angel's like, dude, just being around you makes me crazy. And Buffy's like, well, I'm sorry that I can't give you the happy. Because we all know what happens when I give you the happy. And Angel's just like, I got the biggest case of vampiric blue balls.
It's like the 40-year-old virgin. It's like you're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah, dude.
It's like she can't. They shouldn't be together. They shouldn't be together. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's weird. But they end up being like, look, I can control. Angel's like, I can control myself. It's not going to happen again like it happened last time. Look, here, I'm going to kiss you. And he kisses her and he's like, see, I'm fine. And Buffy's like, all right, well, let's do that some more. And they start kissing and making out. And then Faith shows up and she's like, well, look at the two horn dogs. And they stop making out. And they're like, what's up, Faith? You're out on patrol. And she's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be going to the graveyard. And you're supposed to be coming with me. And Buffy's like, all right, Angel, I gotta go. And Angel's like, all right, take care of yourself. And then they go and hang out at the graveyard.
Can I just say, them going out on patrol and being like, hey, they're sending us out. What is this patrol? Like, I don't get. Is the rest of the Watchers, what are they doing in the rest of the world? Are there patrols elsewhere? Why are two Slayers going to the exact same spot all the time? Like, you have two of them. Cover more ground.
Yeah.
I don't understand what this, like, oh, we got an assignment from the Watchers to, like, stand at this graveyard for no reason.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, from now until forever, there's going to be two Slayers from this point forward, you know? So even if they're both in Sunnydale, send one to the other of your 14 graveyards in Sunnydale. There are
multiple Hellmouths.
There's supposed to be one Slayer. Mm-hmm. And now you have two, and you're sticking them together as if like you're not covering the amount of ground that you could be. You know?
And I have to say this. They react, I was going to say this later, but they react as if having two Slayers is commonplace.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, Slayers should be working together. I'm like, this has never happened before, right?
Yeah, they don't know. This is
unprecedented.
Yes, exactly.
Unprecedented. And they treat it like, well, we have two Slayers, so I guess you guys should team up and we'll train you together. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you never had this happen before.
All the Watchers should be flying in just to see the freaks of nature that these two Slayers are.
But instead, Buffy and Faith are in the graveyard and they're doing their little patrol. And Faith's like, man, I don't know how you do it. And Buffy's like, how I do what? She's like, I don't know how you keep your hands off of that guy. Man, if I was in your shoes, woo, I'd be jumping his bones all the time. And Buffy's like, hey, you know what? When it comes to me and Angel, why don't you duck? Because there's a demon right behind Faith.
Yeah.
And Buffy punches the demon, and the demon's like, ow, what the hell, dude? You just go around punching people? And then Faith takes off his little bowler cap. She's like, people, huh? And it reveals his horns, and he's a demon. He's like, yeah, but still, you don't just punch a demon. I might not be a bad demon. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at him like, what do you do? Who?
I love that this demon knew where to find the Slayers.
Exactly. They always know where to find the Slayers.
Yeah.
It's like they're attracted to them. Like they're like a metal and magnet. They know exactly where they are at all times and when to sneak up on them.
This demon has 0 powers, by the way.
Yeah, he's like the Willy the rat of the demons.
It's like Willy or that guy who trained Angel that wears some weird clothes.
Yeah.
I guess like a mixture of those two.
What was that guy's name?
It's a mixture of those two people.
Wait, what's that guy's name? Whistler. Whistler.
Yeah. Willie and Whistler.
Well, Whistler is a demon.
He is a demon, yeah.
But he doesn't have horns or anything that we know of.
Can this demon not change his face? Because later, well, basically he's trying to do he wants them to pay for the books of ascension that somehow he has, which are very important.
Oh, yeah. They're needed for the mayor. You know, the mayor's been talking about how he's going to be doing this ascension. And this demon, who we don't get a name for him.
I predicted last week that it was going to have something to do with Anya because I saw the thumbnail of this demon and it looked a little bit like the one she was talking to, but it's completely different.
Yeah, it's a way different demon. Yeah. But yeah, they start, you know, holding up against a wall and he's like, wait, I got these books of ascension. I'll sell them to you for $5,000. Is it $5,000?
$5,000 because he wants to take a plane out of Sunnydale. Yeah.
What plane? I mean, I know that this is pre 9/11, but security's stuff. This guy with the horns.
Oh, like, this is your plan to get out of Sunnydale with $5,000? Like, Faith was about to hop on a freighter. So was Angel. Like, you're a demon. Hop on a train. Rob someone.
Right? You're an immortal demon, dude.
You have an apartment.
I don't know if he's immortal. Yeah, how did he get an apartment?
I don't know.
Is he just a squatter?
I don't know, man. We're not supposed to think about this stuff too hard.
Oh, man. But yeah, he's going to do the books of ascension. He's going to sell them to him. And then I think Faith says something like, we're just give them to us or we'll beat the crap out of you. And then he shoves them and runs away.
No, they kind of let him go.
What?
Don't they kind of let him go?
Yeah, he like runs away and Faith is going to chase after him. And Buffy's like, don't even worry about it. I don't think this guy's like really the world ending type of demon. It's like, how the fuck do you know?
Foreshadowing Buffy's biggest weakness, which is letting people run away.
Yep. Dude,
give
in this episode.
Give chase, please.
In Buffy, this episode, dude.
It's so egregious.
So I don't know how it comes to this part, but Buffy makes the connection between this demon and the mayor. And she's like, you know what? I bet this has something to do with the mayor, and I got to take down the mayor because the mayor's probably looking for these books of ascension. Mm-hmm. And Faith is like, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Shifty eye. Yeah.
So then we have the intro song, and then it's Faith with the mayor, and they're talking about the demon wanting to sell the books, and the mayor is like, yeah, that's cool. Anyway, why don't you pull your hair back? You got such a pretty face. What are you doing covering your face with this hair? It's like her face is totally uncovered.
We have the mayor's fashion corner right here.
Yes, we do. He's taking a little page from Joe's book here. He's like, you gotta pull your hair back, dude. What are you doing? You're so beautiful. You're pretty. You should pull your hair back.
Yeah.
And Faith is looking at him like, what? What is up with you, guy?
No.
And Mayor's like, you know what? Let's just chill. Why don't you relax here? I'm going to give you a glass of milk that I have in this whiskey decanter. Yeah. I'm going to pour it in a whiskey glass. It's like, here, have a glass of milk. It's always important to have a good amount of calcium for healthy bones and strong teeth. And Faith is looking at the sky like, what is wrong?
He is delightfully evil. The mayor's great.
No, yeah. We have a total change of heart.
Well, we didn't know anything about him. They would cut to him and he would say like one line and you'd be like, who is this guy? But now that he's got some scenery to chew up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's great. And his acting is great. And
his just optimism is so good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's at this scene or later on, but he's like, I only want positive attitudes, good vibes.
Yeah. While talking about like doing horrible, horrible stuff.
Exactly. Like the next thing that he says after he gives her their milk, he's like, all right, so instead of bargaining with this guy and giving him $5,000, why don't you just fucking kill this guy and take the books? That's what you're going to do, Faith. All right. Yeah. Enjoy that nice glass of milk. So then we go to the Scooby Gang with Wesley, who I am not including into the Scooby Gang. He's a separate part of this.
He's not there yet.
Yeah. So they're all talking about the demon that wants the cash, and they're talking about the books of ascension and all this stuff.
There's a great line that Giles has. He's so pissed off that he's like,
I wrote the quote down.
Oh, you go for it then.
Yeah, so they're talking about how the demon wants $5,000 in cash, and Giles is there eating a banana in the corner. And after he hears this, he goes,
"It's not even lunchtime."
No, I know, right? What a rebel. That's why he's the Ripper Man.
Ripper Man.
So he goes, "What happened to the still beating heart of a virgin? Do these demons not have standards anymore?"
What happened to the days when they wanted just the still beating heart of a virgin? Yeah.
I mean, that's hilarious. And he's just like, he's legitimately pissed. He's like, what the fuck? They want $5,000? I'm a librarian, dude, on my budget.
It's the old man back in my day, but with demons.
Yeah. So they talk to them about the books of ascension, and Wesley's like, I don't know anything about these books of ascension. And he looks over to Giles like, do you? And Giles is like, no, I don't know anything about them. And then Willow's like, I know all about them. They're mentioned in this book. That's in this book. And then Giles is like, when did you start reading that book? I'm pissed that you read that book. And he goes off to get the book. And they're like, why is he pissed that you read that book? And Willow's like, it's in the magical book of spells that I'm not supposed to be reading, that Giles doesn't want me reading.
I love that anytime something comes up, it's the book that's on the top of the stack of books.
Yep. It's like right on top.
Like when Wesley shows up and they're like, I found something. He's like, oh, this book right here. The one box I carried over.
So Giles opens the book and he starts reading about the ascension. And basically all that is in that passage about the ascension is the author writing, oh my God, the ascension is tomorrow. And that's it. It's like, that's the last we heard of this guy.
Somehow the book survived.
Yeah. So then Cordelia shows up, and she's there to seduce Wesley. Shows up, and she's like, Wesley, I have a question for you. I have to write an English paper, and you're English, right? Maybe you could help me. Help me write this paper. And the whole Scooby Gang's looking at her like, what is up with you, dude? And she's like, and the best place for me to study and to get help and for you to tutor me is over a nice dinner. Are you free Friday at 8?
Like and a romantic restaurant.
And then Cordelia's like, think it over. I'll see you later. And she walks out. And then Wesley's like, we need to get this done by Friday.
No, I don't know how old Wesley's supposed to be in comparison to like Giles.
Mm-hmm.
But Wesley's still too old for this. I know Cordelia is an adult, as we can see.
Yeah,
but
Cordelia,
she's supposed to be in high school.
She's supposed to be 17, 18 years old.
And like the guy.
They're juniors. Wait, are they?
17,
no, they're
18.
seniors.
They're seniors, yeah. 17,
seniors,
18.
Yeah, 17, 18.
So she could be 18.
I'd say Wesley's 18. In his 30s, at least.
Yeah. It's still, he still should not do this.
No, absolutely not.
And one, is unprofessional for a watcher. I guess I don't know why they have young girls as slayers only, but I don't know. I don't write the mythical rules. And he's technically, the actor is married to Allison Hannigan, so the ages are like around the same time.
Yeah.
But in show lore, it's
in the
really
show,
weird.
He's definitely in his 30s. She's definitely 17 or 18.
And they bring up jailbait multiple times when they refer to this. But they don't stop it.
No, Xander just makes a quip the new definition of subtlety or whatever he said.
And Giles doesn't say anything. I thought someone was going to say, oh, you need an English person? Why don't you use Giles instead?
Yeah. Yeah, or Giles steps in like, I'm English.
And just cut to Giles with a dumb look on his face and her being like, Like, it's just weird that happened in front of everyone, too. It's one thing when it was, like, the bathroom and she did it
and they're all just staring, watching this happen. And even Cordelia looks and she's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
And it's not even played in a way to make Xander jealous.
Yeah,
it's
doesn't
beyond
seem
this. It's not even, like, about Xander anymore. It's, like, straight up, she wants to bang Wesley.
Yeah.
And Wesley is all for it.
Yeah, he is flustered.
Yeah.
It's like he's never talked to a woman in his life.
And he's not saying no.
What a fucking Poindexter, dude.
I don't know what they're going to do with this.
I hope nothing.
The history of this show and the stuff coming down from like the controversies of the Whedon.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's no way to justify it if it does happen.
I know. So it's the regular Scooby Gang, Buffy, Willow, Xander, Giles, Wesley, and then Cordelia. And so Cordelia leaves and he's like, we got to get this figured. Wesley's like, we got to figure this out by Friday. Anyway, where's Faith? Cut to Faith kicking down the door of this demon's apartment. Literally has an apartment. And
he's in like trousers and a button down like shirt.
Yeah.
And still in demon form too.
And he's also packing up all of his shit. Like he's getting out of town for some reason.
Just leave, dude.
Yeah, dude. You don't need your earthly possessions. So he's packing up all his stuff. It looks like he's got like a fish tank or something.
It looks like a punch bowl or something.
A little aquarium or some shit. And as soon as Faith kicks open the door, the demon turns around and is like, oh, hey, how? You're here. Wow. I was just packing some stuff up. Can I get you anything? You want a glass of water or something? And she's like, the books, where are they? I was like, oh, they're right over here. They're for limited edition.
How did she know where he lived?
Dude, apparently it's very easy to find out where this demon lives, as we find out later on in the episode. But Faith figured it out. She goes over to the Books of the Ascension, and the demon's like giving her the tour of the books. Where he's like, look at them. There's a little bit of, they're mint condition. Don't worry about it. They're all good. But you got my $5,000? And Faith is like, yeah, I got your $5,000. She likes flipping through the thing. He's like, all right, cool. You're flipping through. You can have a little sneak preview, but you gotta have my you gotta have my $5,000. I mean, that price.
She punches him, and then he says it's more negotiable.
Oh yeah. He's like, oh, that price is negotiable. Yeah. And then she's like, you know what? Pulls out a gigantic Bowie knife from her jacket. Mm-hmm. She goes, I'm not one for haggling. Turns around, just starts stabbing this demon. Well, she stabs him in the gut once, and then he's like, oh, and then he starts to try to fight back. She stabs him again. He falls to the ground. She starts packing up the Books of Ascension. He grabs her leg. She gets pulled to the ground, and then she just starts stabbing this dude like a buttload of times. Kills him. Blood all over her hands. She looks at her hand. She's like, oh, God, I did it again. Oops, I killed a demon. Got lost in the game.
I want to stop this. I thought the demon would have some type of power.
Nope.
Like no defense. He's just a regular dude with a demon face.
Yeah, he's just got horns.
Yeah. And somehow she took the books, yet kept the blood on her hands. Mm-hmm. It's pretty impressive. Of
course. But she does have this like look of remorse on her face. She's like, oh my God, I just killed a demon. Yeah. And at that point I was like, wait, why are you having remorse about killing a demon? This is what you do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then we go to Angel, who is reading in his mansion.
As he's wont to do.
Yeah. And no one, it's crazy that like no one ever visits this place.
Like you mean
like there's no building inspectors. Nobody wants to buy the property or anything. Like this is a huge mansion. And it's just abandoned and nobody's interested at all.
There's abandoned places, but I don't know what it used to be. It seems like Sunnydale has a lot of real estate, and I understand why, because no one should live there.
Of course. So Faith shows up at this mansion, and Angel's like, Faith, what's up? What do you need? She's like, Angel, I need some help, dude. I don't know who to turn to, and I think you're the only person that I can turn to about this, but you know how last episode you told me, or 2 episodes ago, you told me that once I have a thirst for murder, I'm going to be unable to quench it or satiate myself? I think you're right, dude. And she shows him her bloody hands, and he's like, oh God, you did it again. And she's like, well, it was just a demon this time. It's not a human, but I liked doing it, and I'm worried about what I'm going to turn into, man. And Angel's like, okay, I can help you. And she's like, I don't want to turn out like you. And Angel's like, you're not going to turn out like me. You have a choice in this. I didn't. I got turned into a vampire. You're just a fucking psychopath. We can help you.
Her quote is, I don't want to end up dead, alone, or a loser.
Yeah. So she then Angel hugs her to comfort her. He's like, it's going to be okay. We're going to get this figured out. And as they're pulling away from the hug, they do that little linger about a centimeter away from each other's lips. Mm-hmm. And they hold this linger for quite some time.
That's how all my hugs end.
I know. That's why we only shake hands.
Yes.
And then it's like Faith moves a half a centimeter towards Angel, and Angel's like, no, we can't. We're not going to do this. I'm in love with Buffy. And Faith is like,
I'm like, are you? Are
right?
you obsessed or are you in love?
It's an unhealthy stalking obsession. Yeah. And Faith is like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry I did this. And she starts to walk away and she's like, this is embarrassing. And then Angel's like, don't worry about it, dude. I get it. You're all caught up in the moment. I'm a sexy ass vampire. Who wouldn't? But I'm in love with Buffy. And then Faith starts to walk away and she's like, turns around and she goes, Angel, do you think if things were different, the thing between us would be different? And Angel's like, we'll never know. Deuces.
And I'm also like, you guys don't have a bond. He kidnapped you once and talked to you for 5 minutes.
That's what I was thinking exactly. Like, she was like, do you think our thing would be different? I was like, what thing? You don't have a thing.
Yeah.
The fuck do you think you are, Faith?
You were like, he kidnapped you, talked to you for a day, and then got beaten up by Wesley and some Watcher thugs.
Yeah. And she tried to kill him too.
Yeah. Like
with Xander, that one episode.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a thing. But
yeah, I don't know why they're
like this was such a leap to me. I was just like,
there's another leap later too, and I'm just like, God, you had a lot of time to deal with the Faith character. Now we're just throwing things on her.
Yeah. So she's like, you know what? You're right. We'll never know. And then she goes to hug him again and she kisses him on the cheek. And who is there walking up just as this happens? Buffy Summers. And she sees Faith kiss Angel on the cheek. And she's like, how dare they? Betrayal.
Buffy.
Angel, are you cheating on me with Faith, this rogue sexual temptress?
Yeah, so she knows he can't have sex with her either. Maybe he could have sex with her.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
He just has sex with people he doesn't like.
Dude,
Buffy, you have to understand.
Buffy, look, they're gonna have quite an interesting relationship if that's the way it went. You know, like look, you know I can't fuck you. Just let me bang everybody else.
You know, I think there might be some fan fiction.
Absolutely, there has to be.
Yeah,
there has to be, dude.
Don't share that with us, please.
Don't share that in the Discord.
Yeah. We don't actually. I mean, just read it to yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Tell us if it exists, but don't share it.
Yeah, just a yes or no.
Even though we both know that it absolutely exists.
Yeah. Because we're starting to write it right now.
Yes, we are. And then so we have the mayor and Faith discussing this Angel situation, and the mayor's like, so what if he turned you down? You're still a strapping young lass, and
he says there's more than one way to skin a cat. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
From experience.
And then he also says, you know what? We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. If we can't get him, and I don't know what their fixation is with this, give him some happiness phrasing.
Yeah.
But he says it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, that's mighty presumptuous of you, both the mayor and Faith, to be like, this will give him some happiness. I know a while ago we opined that true happiness to Angel literally only means having sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I think it's like sex with the person that he loves or blah, blah. But apparently it's just fucking in general.
Like he can't like sit outside at a lake house and watch the sunset.
Nope.
From afar next to a fireplace reading a novella and looking over at the love of his life and be like, you know what? I'm fully content.
He can't watch his favorite sport team win a championship.
If the basketball team for Sunnydale wins the championship.
Oh my God, that would have been the best.
Yeah.
We need Percy West.
But it's so 1-to-1.
But
I thought they were gonna drug him and rape him.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was not putting that past
well, it's also like,
Faith.
Yo, the mayor is pimping out Faith to do. I was like, this is fucked up, dude. Like, this is. I know that they're both evil, but I mean, come on.
I don't think Faith is like saying no to it.
Yeah.
It's all bad. It's terrible weird. Though, and I don't think she came to him for work, not the other way around. That's what I'll say.
Imagine if she didn't kill Mr. Trick and this was like the mayor said Mr. Trick to fuck Angel.
I thought you were going to say Mr. Trick made her, he was the pimp. They just go straight into the stereotype. Oh my God.
Oh my God. That would have been awful.
That would have been terrible.
But I was thinking more like the mayor's like, hey, why don't you go try and fuck Angel, Mr. Trick? Mr. Trick's over there like showing Angel his ass or whatever. Oh God. But yeah, then they're like, yeah, we got to find another way other than give him some happiness because, we got to make him evil again and we're just going to have to do it the long and torturous way. And it's like, whoa, what does that mean?
It's not that long or torturous, but sure.
It's really not. So now we have Wesley and Giles researching about the Books of Ascension. They're coming up with nothing. They can't really figure it out. And Giles says something about like we should ask the council, the Watchers Council. I'll give them a call. And Wesley's like, actually, you shouldn't do that because I haven't told them that you're working for me. I mean, with me. And Giles looks at him like, you motherfucker.
I wish Giles would have started with a backhand before he was like with that pinky ring that he always wears.
And he's like, look, they wouldn't be very happy to know that I am still allowing you to do some watching. And Giles is like, I'm not fucking happy about working with you either, dude. Like, you suck.
The Watchers don't know anything. You have 2 Slayers in a place, and you guys have no concept of what's going on a daily basis.
Yeah. They're the most inefficient group of people.
Yeah.
And we don't know how their inner workings work. But then Buffy shows up and she's looking downtrodden because she thinks that Angel's cheating on her. And Wesley's like, where's Faith? We need to get Faith. We need to figure out what's going on here. Buffy, have you seen Faith? And she's like, oh, I saw a little too much of Faith. And he's like, all right, well, you need to go. Where does he want her to go?
Well, it's something. This is the part where she makes a Waiting for Godot reference.
Oh, okay.
She's like, oh, we should wait for Faith. He's like, that's like Godot waited longer or something or less or something. She's like, oh, that's like Godot or something like that. Some reference to Waiting for Godot, which Buffy, I can't imagine having that in her wheelhouse to just say that. Like, I don't even really know enough about Waiting for Godot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I know it's a movie or a book. Maybe both. I just know of it. But I definitely would not use it in a reference to Faith. And I don't think Buffy's character would quote something like that. That's like if you started quoting Shakespeare for some reason.
Dude, I wouldn't put it past her at this point. She's quoting and like referencing a bunch of stuff. Like the kids in this town are weird.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have actual like they've never seen Spider-Man or anything. Like they don't see movies that like they're like, what's the Matrix? Like nothing exists in their world.
But Buffy's like, dude, why do I gotta wait for Faith? I'll just do it alone. Like, why do I need to go and wait for Faith to find the demon. That's what he wants her to do. He's like, you got to find this demon and get the books of Ascension from the demon before nefarious people get a hold of it. And Buffy's like, I'll just do it alone. And then this is when Wesley goes on a whole lecture about like, you shouldn't do anything alone. You should always be with Faith. Faith and you work together always. And besides, it's damn near, it could be damn near impossible to find out where this demon is. And then Xander, just as he says that, Xander walks in and goes, found your demon. And then he has it written on a thing. And they're like, how the hell did you find it? Xander goes, well, I beat the shit out of Willie the Snitch. And they're like, really? And he's like, no, I'm more just, I put some pressure on him. I didn't put any pressure on him. I just asked him politely. I didn't even do that. I just bribed him. I paid him $28. Do the Watchers reimburse something like that? And Giles goes, you got a receipt? And Xander's like, oh, shit. No, I don't.
It's a great moment. The got a receipt is such a good. Giles is just like one-lining it this episode so well.
Yeah, Giles is killing it.
But the part where he was like, oh, they got to work together is that part where I was like, what are you talking about? Slayer never had to work with anyone, and you have no training for how two people should work together.
Yes.
So I don't know why you guys are saying this is how it should be. And Waiting for Godot is a Samuel Beckett play.
Okay.
That's what it is. Even less of a reason for Buffy to know it.
I mean, her mom does have an art exhibit thing.
You've seen that art. You've seen that. Air quotes. Hard air quotes.
Maybe her dad is really into plays? I don't know.
Oh, they only go ice skating. See ice skates once a year on her birthday.
So Buffy looks at the address and she apparently has an encyclopedic knowledge of the layout of Sunnydale because she's like, oh, this is by the bus station. It's in the rough part of town. And Giles, once again, he goes, you see, again with this? These demons, they have no standards. They should be staying in a pit of filth or a nice crypt. I mean, these demons these days. It's great.
Yeah.
So then Faith shows up. And she's like, what's the word, everybody? And Buffy's like, we found out where the demon is. I'm going to go pay him a visit. And Faith's like, all right, cool. I'll go with you. And Buffy goes, no, I'll just do this alone. And Faith says, come on, let me in. Share. That's only fair. That's how the song goes, right? And then Buffy gives her a real stink eye. And she goes, yeah, you'd know all about that, wouldn't you?
My thing about this is, Buffy shouldn't like Faith before the whole Angel thing.
Yeah.
Like Faith comes in like she's cool with her, but they're not cool. You tried to blame her for the murder of a deputy to Giles, her father figure. That's not something you just get over like easily.
Yeah.
But now she seems more pissed off that she kissed Angel on the cheek. And it's like, I know that's the show, but man.
Vance, don't you remember? Faith killed Mr. Trick, said nothing to Buffy that we saw, so all is forgiven.
Yeah.
And then
so that is fine.
The next episode, Wesley is training her. There's no consequences at all from the Watchers Council. There's no consequences. Like, they're cool.
In the beginning of this, they're like, wait, so Faith is back on patrol? They're like, yeah, I guess so. Guess she passed.
The Watchers are cool with it.
She passed her psych test.
Oh yeah, I did forget to mention that. Like Angel is even like, so the Watchers are cool with this, and she's like, yeah. It's like, wait a minute. How
are the police cool with you two just walking around because we haven't found the body?
It's so strange, this whole Faith situation. But anyway, so Buffy and Faith go to the demon's apartment, and Buffy is like, so where were you last night, Faith? And Faith was like, I was out on patrol. And Buffy's like, sure, you're patrolling around my boyfriend's mansion, you skank. She doesn't say that, but that's in her head.
Yeah.
Then they walk a little bit further into the demon's apartment. The demon has been stabbed to death. He's laying there on the floor, and Buffy's like, somebody got to him first. And Faith's like, cool, all right, let's go.
And the books are gone too. Like, she says that, and I'm like, Buffy, how would you even know the books are here or that they're gone? Like,
Yeah,
how
like,
would Faith
you
know that
didn't-
they're gone?
Yeah, like you didn't look around at all. They could be like in his refrigerator or like under the bed. Like you just saw the demon body and
There could be some other information.
yeah.
Like, they just... I don't even know why this scene... I guess it's just so Buffy finds out that the demon's dead and the books are gone, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for Faith to act suspicious, like, all right, well, I guess that guy's dead, so we should go. Let's go. See
My
ya.
note
Let's go.
says, Faith Buffy finds demon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Buffy kind of is a little bit of a lingering look at the demon. She's like, what actually happened here? And Faith grabs her. She's like, come on. We got to go. Got to get out of here.
When did neighbors think someone just murdered some guy?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a demon with the door wide open that someone is going to find.
He's going to start stinking.
The door's wide open. Some random neighbor will walk in there and see
Well,
a murdered...
I don't think the door was wide open. It was unlocked because like Buffy and Faith do open the door.
I think when they leave, it's just open.
Maybe.
Anyway, someone's going to find just a demon, and how are they going to explain this?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how are they going to explain the murder, number one, and number two? It's a fucking demon.
Yeah, if you find it, it's like, so what is this thing?
Well, eventually somebody's going to come around there to, like, collect rent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, some regular human will find a demon and have to, like, explain. Is the mayor covering up all of the demon activity in the city? I need to know.
Maybe Faith comes back later at night to weigh him down and throw him in the harbor.
Yeah.
I throw him in the harbor, kid, like a bunch of tea.
So they'll find
This
him
is
sooner.
Boston.
They'll find him sooner. They'll just float back.
So now we are back in the mayor's office, and he is offering a mystery person a mint. And the mystery person says no. And then he's like, all right, Mr. Demon, you all know why I called you here. I called you here because you know how to get the soul out of Angel. And I need you to do that. And you think you can do that soul robbing spell. And then we cut to the demon, who looks like a ninja. Has like a face covering. He's sitting at the mayor's desk, like with his fingers like Mr. Burns or something. Like
He has a Mortal Kombat vibe to him.
Yeah,
Like one
absolutely.
of the Mortal Kombat villains. He's got like this smoke going around him. His eyes are red. You can only see his eyes.
Yeah,
Can't see
skin's
his
like
mouth.
purpley looking. Or this could be remaster. Don't know exactly the skin colors.
Yeah.
But it also looks like it's the middle of the day.
It is middle of the day. Yeah.
And the mayor's like, you think you can do this spell that will rob Angel of his soul? And the demon just nods his head yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mayor's like, great. Are you sure you don't want to mint? They're low calorie. And the demon just shakes his head no.
Yeah.
And the mayor's like, all right, suit yourself. He takes one for himself. He's like, I mean, they're good. You should have one.
I don't think the germaphobe mayor would have a bowl of open mints.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like wrapped in plastic or something like that.
No,
those.
he just pops them in his mouth.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Like those grandma lifesavers, that are
Those
individually
things,
wrapped.
Those like thick white peppermint ones. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma always had those, dude. Good stuff. So the next day, Buffy and Willow are at school, and Buffy is just beside herself. And Willow is like, what's wrong, Buffy? Is something up? Willow's wearing her signature Dickies overalls with a fuzzy sweater underneath, just looking the dumbest. And Buffy also is wearing like a t-shirt with this weird dress. And I know this probably, I don't know, it may have bothered you, but this bothered me. But the dress shoulder is always hanging off of her shoulder. Like it's just always hanging off. And it annoyed me. It's like, dude, fix that shoulder strap, please. You're driving me insane.
Joe's
she
do's
never
and
does.
don'ts. I don't know how
She
you
never does.
I don't know how you go through life. How do you walk?
It's tough.
How do you walk down the street every day?
Vance, let me tell you, man, it's tough. Tough out here when you've got weird OCD tics. But Buffy's like, nothing's wrong. And Willow's like, Buffy, come on. And Buffy's like, okay, fine. I saw Angel with Faith, and it looked like they were getting pretty intimate, okay? And Willow's like, no way. And Buffy's like, yes way. And then basically Willow goes on this tirade about Faith would absolutely try to fuck Angel. Faith would try to fuck anybody. Is he a man? Faith would try to fuck him. Is he breathing? Faith would try to fuck him. And Buffy goes, well, he's not technically breathing. And Willow's like, you get my point, though. Faith is a skank. I don't like her. She banged Xander, and I resent her for this. And we all know that Faith absolutely would. But we also know that Angel never would. Because Angel is obsessed with you to an unhealthy degree. He is in love with you, and he would do anything for you. So you need to trust Angel. He would never do anything with Faith. And Buffy's like, you right.
When do you think we'll get the scene where she's like, would you love me if I wasn't a Slayer? And Angel's like, we'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. Dude, that'd be hilarious if that was his excuse for everything.
I do love that answer. Like when someone throws one of those questions out to you, like if things were different. Yeah.
Anytime a girl has asked me a question like that, they're like, would you still like me if I lost an arm? I always say no. Always. They're like, what? You wouldn't? I'm like, no, if literally anything about you changes, I will dump you. That's my go-to.
Yeah, that's
like
fun.
I had a girl like get actually mad at me because she was like, if I lost all of my limbs and I was just a nub, would you be mad? Would you still love me? And I was like, no.
Like, I don't even love you with all your limbs. Maybe if you had more.
Who said I loved you? Oh, but it's like the funniest thing. Listeners, if you have anybody that does that shit to you, just go, no. Just straight up, no, I wouldn't. And just watch them melt. It's hilarious.
If I change my hair color, nope, I'm out.
Nope. Done. Done. Dude, if you pluck an eyebrow, it's over. Oh, man. But yeah, then Willow imparts this wisdom to Buffy. She goes, why don't you just go talk to Angel? Why don't you go ask him what's up? Go see what that moment with Faith was all about.
It is the best advice ever given in this show ever.
Yep. And Buffy's like, you know what? You're right, Willow. I will do that. So now Angel is lighting some candles in his mansion.
Just setting the mood for his book reading.
Yep. And he turns around and Faith is there, dressed all leathery and sexy like.
Dude, she's dressed like what Buffy the Vampire Slayer dresses like.
Yep.
I am so intrigued to see how this pans out.
Yeah, because especially this season, Buffy has been dressed like a kindergarten teacher.
Do they become like the same person? Do they get sucked into each other and become one Slayer again? I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I think people would hate it. It's like that Spider-Man comic where Dr. Ock becomes Spider-Man.
Oh, Superior Spider-Man?
I guess. I just know of that storyline. I've never read it.
I think that's what it's called.
But yeah, it's like she's wearing exactly like the images that I've seen of Buffy.
Yeah.
With the like leather, the maroon leather top and black pants or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, what? Why is Faith wearing it?
Well, I mean, even Kendra at a certain point was like wearing some stuff that's like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer outfit.
It was closer, but her thing was like, they ripped my one shirt.
Oh, yeah, I got one shirt.
I was like, oh, man. Do the Watchers not have any money? Like, what's going on? What's going on, man?
But yeah, I'm curious as to when this change with Buffy happens where she starts wearing like the badass, I'm a badass outfits. Maybe it's when they switched from her being on the WB to UPN or something.
I think it has something to do with Spike.
You think so?
Maybe.
All right.
I can see Spike being a badass. And like,
yeah, or he like takes her. He's like, you got to get out of this. I get up. Yeah. If you're gonna be rolling with me, you cannot be Jackie O.
Or it's a college like fashion montage or something.
Ooh,
But it's exactly what Faith is wearing. Like, I mean, it's to the T is what Faith is wearing.
I feel like the image in my mind of what Buffy the Vampire Slayer wears is a black tank top and maroon leather pants and black boots.
Yeah, it's something like that, yeah. Like that classic image of like, oh, what are you dressed as? You're dressed as Buffy. But it seems like that's what Faith is dressed like.
Yeah. It's weird, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
But anyway, Faith shows up to Angel's candlelit mansion to apologize to him. She goes, look, I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have tried to seduce you. I shouldn't have tried to lure you in for my kiss. And I'm very sorry about this. And Angel's like, don't worry. I get it. You were all horned up. You murdered somebody. It makes you horny. I get it. I've been there. We've all been there. But we're going to help you get through this. And it'll be great. And Faith has her back turned toward Angel at this point. And Angel comes up behind her. He grabs her on the shoulders. He starts to like try and comfort her. And Faith jumps back.
In this moment, did you think Buffy was going to show up?
I did.
Okay.
I absolutely did.
Yeah.
There's a couple of moments where I think Buffy's going to show up.
Yeah.
So he like holds her shoulders, and then Faith turns around and jumps back, and she goes, "You fell for it, chump." And Angel's like, "What?" Oh, also, I got to mention, Angel's dressed pretty sexily too. He's just wearing a tank top.
I wouldn't say sexy. It looks like he's like at home by himself. He's wearing a
tank top.
And that's it. Like
and black pants.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's exposed, but it's not like he's dressed up sexy. It's just like this is what he's gonna wear around the house.
And I also gotta say here, looks like David Boreanaz was hitting the weights at this point because he looks a little buffer than he was. You know, I rip on his physique every once in a while. But in this tank, he's looking pretty good.
I'll say he's not Marvel ripped, but he's just
he's definitely not Marvel
90s.
ripped.
He's 90s star.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll get into it, but he becomes better soon.
Yeah. So Faith goes, "You fell for it, you chump," and she throws like a vial of blood on him or something.
And Angel laps it up. He just laps it up.
He starts licking. He's like, "Ooh, you brought dinner." But he looks down at his pristine white tank that is now sullied with blood, and he's like, "Huh, Faith." And then out of the darkness, the ninja demon comes, and he starts doing this spell. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Faith, why are you doing this? You don't have to do this." And Faith is like, "I want to do this." And then the demon completes his spell. The soul gets ripped out from Angel. Mm-hmm. Angel falls to the ground, and Faith is looking at him like, "Yeah, now you're in the palm of my hand, buddy." Mm-hmm. And then Angel gets up, totally vampire faced. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Good to be back." And just starts making out with Faith. Hardcore. Yeah. And then we go to commercial break.
Yes.
Then we come back from commercial break. And he's still making out with her. Yeah. And he pulls out and he goes, "Man, it's been so long."
He pulls back.
He pulls yeah. He pulls back. He pulls back. Sorry.
It's a family show.
Phrasing. He pulls back and goes, "Ooh, it's been so long since I've had the taste of a Slayer in my mouth. It's always good." And then Faith is like, "All right, cool. This is good shit." And then he punches Faith in the face. And Faith is like, "Whoa, this is not how I wanted it to go." And then she pulls out a stake. And at that point I was like, wait, what was the plan here?
Yeah.
And then they start fighting. And Faith propositions him with like, "Hey, let me get you hooked up with the real power in this town." And Angel is horny as hell, dude. He's like, "Why don't you ride my dick a little bit more, lady?" She's like on top of him, straddling him.
I knew you liked it on top. It's like,
yeah,
he is. I was like, Angelus is more fun.
Yeah,
like he snapped into this character, and he's got one-liners. He got like this swagger. He's like hitting her. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna kill her." Like It's like, oh yeah, David Boreanaz, welcome back.
Yeah, thank God.
It's just these ones were fun. Like all the bad guys when they're like over the top evil are just more fun to watch.
Absolutely. But then Faith has a stake and she's like, I could kill you right now, or you can team up with me and the mayor. And Angel's like, you know what? That doesn't sound half bad. I'll team up with you and the mayor. And then they just start going to town, making out hard. And this was another moment where I thought Buffy was going to show up.
I didn't think she was going to show up here. I don't know. I was just so like, wow, this is happening. When I was watching, I was like, all right.
Well, also, I need to mention this. Mm-hmm. This is all happening in the daylight. Their Angel may be in the shadows, but at a certain point, it looked like he walked directly into daylight.
I don't think there's a lot of daylight in that main room that they're in.
Dude, I'm going to screenshot some shit.
All right, well, screenshot it, post it on Discord, and we'll all just make fun of you.
Someone will bring up the remaster and it actually happened at night and blah, blah, blah. We know the whole thing, but to me, it looked like daytime. So yeah, then we go back to Wes and the gang, and Oz is now in the gang. He's there and he's got bleach blonde hair.
Yes, I wrote that down. I wrote Oz is blonde.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with his hair, but I'm keeping track of it. I don't know why.
He is Ramona Flowersing hard. Because literally last episode he had jet black hair.
Jet black. He had jet black hair for like 2 episodes.
Dude, do you know how hard it is to go from that black of hair to bleach blonde?
Yeah.
I have brown hair and I bleached my hair once and I did it with like CVS box bleach. I had to buy 5 treatments of that.
Well, he's got a professional studio behind him.
Dude, it still takes
but
a
I don't
long,
understand.
long time.
I'm not sure. I don't know what the gap between these episodes would be, but I don't know why the hair color changes are happening.
Yeah. But anyway, it's Oz, Willow, Buffy, Xander, and Cordelia, Wesley, and Giles. That's who's at this meeting. And Wesley and Giles are trying to figure shit out. They don't know where the Book of Ascension, the Books of Ascension have gone missing. The demon's killed. Wesley tells Buffy to go to the mayor's office and investigate.
Well, they mention like Faith and Angel aren't there, and we need all hands on deck.
Yeah, they need all hands on deck. Angel and Faith are missing, and Willow's like, and that's just a coincidence. They're not banging. She's like winking at Buffy.
And when that happens, why aren't the 2 adults in the room like, what's actually going on?
Yeah.
Like, why is Giles not like, wait, what does that mean? Because what Willow said out of context, because no one else knows what Buffy told her, they would be like, you guys think something's happening with them? Like, yeah. Buffy, you think that Faith and Angel are together? Because that's a problem. Like,
yes.
Like, no one says anything.
Who knows if Faith can give him true happiness, aka bang.
Yeah. Xander, were you happy? on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate your happiness?
And Cordelia is there and she's just fawning over Wesley. She's like, your voice is so amazing. I think you should do books on tape.
How have they not kicked her out of this meeting?
Yeah, that's when I was like, why is Cordelia folded back into the Scooby Gang all of a sudden? But
what a weird way to fold her back in, too.
Exactly. And so they're like, Buffy, you go to the mayor's office. The rest of the gang, we need to do research. Willow, did you have any luck hacking into the mayor's computer? And she's like, yeah, I did. But once I hacked in, he had already deleted all the files. So it came up empty. And then Oz goes, wait a minute. Why don't we go to the Hall of Records? There's got to be stuff about the mayor in there. And Wesley's like, excellent observation, Oz. The rest of the group will go to the Hall of Records and do our research. And Cordelia's like, I'm in Wesley's group. And Giles is so annoyed. And he's like, there's only one group. And Cordelia's like, well, I'm with Wesley's group. I'm going with him. And then Xander goes, man, I don't want to be watching this. I am going to skip out on that group. And then Cordelia's like, cool. Nobody really cares about you anyway. Now, what the fuck is the Hall of Records?
What do you mean, what the fuck is the Hall of Records?
What is the Hall of Records?
It's like in the city hall.
Can you just go and visit that?
You can't just go to the mayor's office like Buffy's going to do.
True. Yeah. But I've never heard this Hall of Records thing.
Hall of Records, Los Angeles, 320 West Temple Street, Los Angeles, California.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Hall of Records where all the stuff from all the states. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like the Library of Congress, You
learn something new every day. I'd never heard of the Hall of Records. I thought it was like a permanent record type of thing.
It is. You just technically.
No, but you know what I mean. Like a student's permanent record. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, when you say Hall of Records, Oz is a smart guy.
All right. Well,
here's the thing. I am
not. Here's the thing. I am not.
You were like, let's talk about this Hall of Records nonsense.
Little do I know.
I believe these demons and vampires can float around, but a Hall of Records? Most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Okay. All right. Maybe I won't post screenshots in Discord. I'm taking it on the shins in this episode.
Take a week off.
Yeah, do the Vance solo cast. Oh, Jesus. So they all go to the Hall of Records that totally exists. And I knew that the whole time. Yeah. And then Angel, Faith, and the mayor are hanging out at the mayor's office. And the mayor is propositioning Angel. Is like, hey, why don't you work with me? It's going to be cool. We're going to all have great times together. And Angel's listening to this. And he rubs his fingers across the mayor's desk, sees a letter opener, and he grabs that and he starts toying around with the letter opener while the mayor's blabbing about their secret plans that they're going to do that's going to be so cool and rad.
Well, the mayor says some stuff about torturing the Slayer, right? Does he say this here? And he says, I don't want you to kill her fast because I don't want there to be a Slayer replacement. So he already knows how Slayers work.
Yep.
And he's like, I don't think they'll be as good as Faith over here. Faith is all grinning ear to ear. Yay, someone likes me. Yeah.
And Angel's walking around and he's like, why would I team up with you, dude? Why? I kind of am a lone guy. And the mayor's like, I noticed that you're really admiring my letter opener. How are you liking that? And Angel's like, well, you know what? I was actually thinking about stabbing you with it. And the mayor goes, stabbing you in the heart. And the mayor goes, I welcome that. Go ahead. Give it a try. And then Angel just chucks the knife at him. The mayor catches it with his hand. It stabs through his hand. And he pulls the letter opener out. His hand fully heals. And he goes, look at that. Check me out. I'm invincible. I'm impervious to pain. You can't hurt me. And Angel's like, isn't that something? This is quite a cool ragtag team we got here. Yeah. Me, Angelus, this crazy vampire guy. We got a Slayer here. And you are immortal. This is cool. And the mayor's like, it'll be even cooler once you kill the Slayer. And Angel's like, you know what? I think I'll do that.
Yeah. Is this Faith's first time figuring this out? Or did she know already?
I'm guessing that she knows. So there goes my whole theory about how she's going to backstab, and that's how the whole gang finds out. I had that theory.
All of anything that Faith was good went out the window in this episode.
Yeah.
Any salvation for her. Even though I'm sure she's going to do something stupid at the end and get on everyone's good side.
Yeah.
But
how annoyed.
I know. She's bad. Just have her be bad.
Yeah.
Spike's gonna come back and be cool, and just have a bad guy be a bad guy for the whole time,
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So now Xander's walking around town, just getting annoyed and jealous that Cordelia wants to hook up with Wesley. And he's like, oh, you got such a great voice, man. Yeah. Stupid Cordelia, you're stupid. And then he sees Angel and Faith walking around. He goes, oh, hey, what's up, guys? Good news. We're going to go investigate. And just as he's about to tell them something, Angel just punches him right in the face. Xander hits the deck. And as Angel and Faith are walking away, Angel goes, man, that guy just bugs me.
So good. When that happened, I was like, why didn't Angel just kill him? Why didn't he just snap his neck?
Well,
I know.
Yeah.
But that I'm going, as I'm watching it, I'm like, he should just snap his neck.
That's what I thought too. I was like, he should have just killed this guy.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I don't know, that guy just bugs me, dude.
Hey guys, what's up, Pop?
So Faith and Angel go to Buffy's house, and Joyce answers the door. And she's like, oh, hey, what's up, Faith and Angel? My daughter's friends. How are you?
The one that creeped me out at the doorway when I had all those oranges.
Yeah. Come on in.
And the other Slayer that I know killed the deputy mayor.
Yes.
Because I know one of them did it.
So they're like, is Buffy home? And Joyce is like, yeah, she's up in her room. Come on in. And Faith goes in, and then Angel comes in, and he goes, did you do something different with your hair, Joyce? And Joyce goes, I mean, I did highlights. And Angel goes, looks really nice. And then he walks past her, starts walking upstairs, and Joyce is like, her breath was taken away. She's like, oh my God, thank you. Somebody finally noticed. I was like, what a weird moment just then.
I know.
She's like, oh yeah, Joyce still got it.
Oh man. And we get more fanfic.
Yep. Joycey got a groove back.
Joyce got a groove back with Angelus and Joyce.
Jesus. So Faith and Angel go up to Buffy's room, and Buffy's packing a bunch of weapons. And they're like, hey.
I have to comment. I did love the fact that in that meeting, Buffy's like, I'm going to go home and get some weapons.
Yeah. Then she actually does it.
She's getting weapons to go scout out the mayor's office. She doesn't get weapons when she's going in to fight 20 vampires by herself.
Yeah, because she knows that the Brond is stockpiled with pool tables and pool cues and pool balls.
And chopsticks.
Yeah, and all kinds. There's just wood everywhere. Yeah. So they go to Buffy's room, and they're like, hey, we got the drop on some people. We got to go meet up at Angel's mansion. And Buffy's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's get the weapons and let's go. Angel's being all sweet, and he's like, you want me to take those for you? And Buffy's like, yeah, that'd be really nice.
Actually, he goes, I got these for you. It's not a big exchange.
Yeah. But Buffy is also still, when Angel and Faith show up, she's like, you guys are cheating on me, and I don't like all this time that you're spending. She's saying this in her head.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't like all this time you guys are spending together. I don't know, like, what's up. So they go back to Angel's mansion, and Angel throws the weapons down, and Buffy's like, all right, cool. What's the plan of attack? And Angel turns around, and he's full vampire face. And he's like, you know what, Buff? You gotta, like, take a chill pill. And then Buffy's like, Buff? What's up with you, Angel? That was the what is it in poker? The tell.
Yeah. Did he always call her Buff when he was Angelus?
He did, as Angelus, call her Buff. Not always, but he did call her. Like, Angel has never called her Buff.
Yeah. And I like wrote down Buff and B. Mm-hmm. So everybody that calls Buffy by a nickname are bad.
Yeah. So he is like looking at her vampire face, is like, Angelus is back, baby. And Buffy's like, what? No. How did this happen? No. And then he grabs Buffy and he's like, let me guess. There's a bit of you that's thinking, oh, there's a little bit of good left in Angel down there. If I could just reach him. Not going to happen. Not this time. And then Buffy shoves him off and she's like, don't touch me. It's like, why is he obeying her right now? Like, what the hell is happening? And then she turns around. She's like, Faith, we got to get out of here. He's so dangerous. He's the most dangerous guy ever. We got to leave. And Faith has crossed her arms and she's blocking the exit. And she goes, no, you know what? I kind of like it here, Buff. Or I kind of like it here, B.
Yeah.
And then
she's like, it's Buffy. It's Buffy. That's my name.
And Buffy's like, Faith, why? And then she turns around and Angel just punches her and knocks her out. And I was like, shit is hitting the fan right now.
Yeah. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah. So Wesley, Cordelia, Willow, and Oz are in the Hall of Records. And they're researching the mayor. And they see a picture of the mayor from 100 years ago. And they're like, this is the same guy. This is the same man. The mayor is over 100 years old. And then Xander shows up and he goes, it's even worse than that, guys. I got worse news. And I hate to say I told you. You know how there's some people that hate to say I told you so? Well, that's not me. I love saying that shit. And I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Angel is back. He is Angelus and he's bad. And they're like, how do you know? And he's like, he just fucking punched me in my face. And you know what's worse is he's hanging out with Faith. And Cordelia's like, well, it seems like you're blaming Wesley. Why are you blaming Wesley? He's like, because Wesley is supposed to be looking after Faith. This is his fault. And Angel's bad again. And he's hooked up with Faith. And they're about to go do some evil, evil shit, dude. And they're like, no, this is all bad. So then we got Buffy.
Well, then they say, let's go get Giles. It's like, oh, by the time we go get Giles, they could be murdering Buffy. This is very key for what I'm going to talk about later.
Okay. Good point that he does say that. So now we got Buffy waking up from her knocked outedness, and she's chained up in the mansion. And
there's a lot of places to chain people up in this mansion.
I know, this is different.
This is a different wall. This is a different wall. Yeah.
And Angel's in her face, and he's like, oh yeah, I got you chained up. You know what? We never used chains when we were together. We should have done that. And then Faith is like, yeah, bondage looks good on you, B. And Buffy is like, why? Why would you do this? How dare you? I can't believe you're double-crossing me like this. And then Faith and Angel make out in front of her. And Buffy's like, oh, this is worse. This is worse than any torture. And then Faith is like, oh, is it? And then she unveils a bunch of torture devices that they're going to do. And they've got a whole bunch of them.
I was like, am I watching Dexter? What is happening here?
It's like Saw 6 or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, all right, Faith, like that's an extreme level to take it.
And Faith is like, I'm going to torture you, Buffy, and I don't like you. And
you spent Christmas with Buffy.
Right?
Like, jeez.
And I love this moment. Buffy's like, Faith, don't kill me. Because, you know, once he kills me, he's going to kill you. And then Angel goes, you know what? You're probably right. Actually, I will do that.
Yeah.
And Faith is like, never mind all that. I'm going to torture you. We're not going to kill you. We're going to make it super slow. And you know what? I never liked you. Everyone was always telling me, oh, why don't you do stuff like Buffy? You know, everybody's always so obsessed with you and how good of a slayer you are. Sunnydale was supposed to be my town. I was supposed to be the slayer, but all anybody ever wants to do is talk about you. And you know what? You got your little fucking Scooby gang.
Scooby gang, shout out.
Faith listens to the boys. Faith listens to the boys. She's like, you got your Scooby gang. You got your Watcher. Nobody ever says, well, how come, Buffy, you don't want to be more like Faith? Why doesn't anybody want people to be more like Faith? This is bullshit. And this is why I'm going to chain you up and I'm going to torture you. And Buffy goes, you don't have to do this. Oh, okay. What?
I just have to say, this whole Faith being jealous angle seems like it's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, a little bit.
To the point of where, like, she thought Sunnydale was going to be her place.
Yeah.
Why?
That made no sense.
When?
Well, wasn't she, like, slaying all throughout the country before this?
Yeah, and then her Watcher died. And then she ended up in Sunnydale. And then she was freaked out because the guy that she had cut his eye, that big old demon,
the big dude.
Yeah, she was completely terrified. She was completely terrified of that guy. And then Buffy helped kill him with her.
Yeah.
So I was just like, when was her like... And then she's like, oh, the Watchers never respect me. You never wanted any of the new Watchers.
I will say that there was some animosity between Buffy and Faith that first episode. Because remember when they were walking down that alley and
well,
she's
she
like,
does want to take over.
Yeah.
I feel like she wants to take over, but I don't feel like it's like a jealousy. You're better than me. I'm better than you. I don't think they pushed that as hard for the other episodes that we watched.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that first episode when they're in that dark alley and they're fighting a bunch of vampires.
She's like, maybe you could take a break and I'll take over here. Like,
yeah.
Is Faith coming to take over? But since then, they've been spending Christmases together. They've been helping each other out. Like the end of that episode, they help each other out.
Well, there also is that moment where Faith does say, like, you know, maybe you've been doing this slaying for a little too long and you're old and I'm the hot new thing.
That's the first episode.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I'm saying everything after that does not track. Like the Bad Girls episode is not her saying, oh, you turn bad and then I'm going to take you down with me. It was just like, I don't know. It just felt like the jealousy. And
I don't know, man.
The jealousy stuff is there, but I don't think it is fully tracked throughout.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there. Like, even the Batgirls thing when she's starting to influence Buffy a little, and then Buffy's like, oh, wait, this is the bad road, and she ends up murdering a dude. Like...
It seemed like she wanted Buffy to be a partner with her, not get rid of her at that point, though. You know? And I'm thinking, like... I'm trying to think of some other episodes that we had with her.
I mean, she was kind of absent for a bit. But it seems
remember
like
she was mad at her for some reason, right? What did she get mad at her for? And she wouldn't talk to Buffy.
It's because Buffy was hiding Angel from her.
Yeah,
and the new Watcher convinced her, like, you know, they're having secret meetings, and then she's like, oh, I'm not really in the friend group. So I think that the jealousy seed is kind of planted.
But that jealousy seed was planted by a rogue Watcher. Who called her an idiot.
But again, like even before then, she was jealous when they were in that first episode.
I just thought like after that, the fact that like Buffy's
But also, dude, Faith is mentally unstable.
No, mentally unstable, yes.
But
she
gives that whole speech about, you know, she's being jealous of Buffy and nobody wants her to be more like Faith. And you got the Scooby Gang. And then Buffy's like, don't do this, Faith. And then Faith turns to her and she's like, you know what? Why? It's because you think you're better than me? And Buffy goes, I am better than you.
Which I loved.
Yeah. And Faith is like, what? And Buffy's like, yeah, dude, I'm better than you. I've always been better than you. That's why everyone wants you to be more like me. Because you suck.
She calls her a loser.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing she didn't want to be. She wanted her to be dead, alone, or a loser. And Buffy called her a loser.
Well, Faith goes, why don't you check the scoreboard, B? I got Angel. He's with me now. And Buffy goes, yeah, but you only got Angel because you had to, what? Use a magic spell to steal his soul? Real good there, Faith. You know, in the real reality of Angel, he would never touch you. And Faith is like, fuck you. And she takes like a knife and she like stabs right next to Buffy's head. And this is when Buffy's like, and the only reason that you beat me is because you got me chained up. You know, if I was unchained, I would beat the shit out of you. This is a not fair fight. And you know, in your heart of hearts, if it was, I would kill you. And Faith is like, you know what? I don't care. I've got you chained up. I'm going to kill you. And I duped you because I'm the greatest actor in the world.
World's best actor.
The world's best actor.
Which I was like, that's hilarious.
And then Angel goes, second best actor. And he looks up and it's Angel. He has never been Angelus this whole time. And Faith is like, what? And then Buffy quickly unchains herself.
Buffy says, can I just say something real quick? And then unchains herself. And I was just like, what a twist.
Yeah, she goes, can I say something really quick? Unchains herself and goes, psych.
Like
now.
And Faith was like, you duped me. You duped me.
Yeah. Yeah. She fucking oogie boogies it. You dare to make a dupe out of me? And at this moment, before all of this, Faith unveils everything that she knows about the mayor's plan about the ascension.
What did she say about it?
She's like, it's going to happen on graduation day.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Why would the mayor give a single solitary
I don't know
shit?
why everything is so tied to high school.
Yeah, dude. He's like, we're gonna do it on graduation day.
Which graduation day? Because there's a couple. Is this the only high school in
Different
Sunnydale?
for every high school.
Is this the only one in Sunnydale? Probably. Sunnydale's probably small enough that it just has one high school.
But as soon as Buffy's like, psych, Angel goes, you think we got all the stuff that we know that she knows? And then Buffy's like, yeah, I think that she just revealed all the stuff that she knows about the mayor's plan. And then that's when Faith is like, you tricked me. They
still don't have enough information to do anything about the plan. They just know a date.
And then Buffy and Faith fight, and they have a little tussle. The gang busts down the door of the mansion, and it's all of them, like the whole 6 or 7 of them.
Except for Giles.
Yeah. And Buffy and Faith are going at it. They're fighting. And then they have a little bit of a Mexican standoff. They pull a knife on each other's throat.
I don't think you can say Mexican standoff anymore.
Really? You can't?
I don't think it's good.
Is it PC? Is it not PC?
I don't think it's PC.
Hold on.
Can you say Southwestern duel? I don't know.
Hold on. I'm on a website. It says Mexican standoff. Racist or not? Both sides have a strong argumentation. Oh, I'm not going to go through all this. But, all right, they have a standoff. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. I'm more curious for myself.
Look, I don't know. We'll look it up later. Oh, God. This is how the Boys Watching Buffy podcast ends, everybody. They have a standoff. Edit it out, Vance. Cut that out. So they have a standoff. They got knives to each other's throats. And Faith goes, what are you going to do, B? You going to kill me? You ain't got it in ya. And then I don't know what happens here.
She kisses her on the forehead.
No, she does.
Yes, she does. I think she
does?
I think she grabs her, kisses her on the forehead, and runs off or something.
I know that Faith runs off in front of 7 or 8 people, and not a single person runs after her.
All right, I'm going to look it up while you talk about something.
While I filibuster.
You know what? Here's my thing that I didn't get. So one, all of those people came in. They think Angelus, right?
Yes.
He gets pushed over towards all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just immediately stake him in the chest.
No.
They don't know that he's not Angelus.
Yep. Because he's the best actor in the world.
Xander just told them that he's Angelus, and they just saw Faith and Angel fighting Buffy.
Xander has a broken jaw. He got punched in the face and then fell on concrete. We see it later.
He's fine.
Dude, he's got a humongous bruise on his jaw, dude.
He's fine.
He is
Angel
not
pulled
fine.
Angel pulled that punch a little bit.
I mean, he definitely had to have. But do you think that that guy just bugs me was actually Angel expressing his opinion about Xander? He's like, I've been waiting for this.
Oh, yeah. He actually loved having to do that part.
Yeah, man. I mean, that definitely had a little bit of spice on it. He's been like, all right, I'm going to punch him. I'm not going to do it as hard as I can because it'll probably knock his head clean off. But I'm going to give him a little bit of, hey, I'm here. Don't mess with me.
Oh, yeah. He was like, I am going to knock him out.
Buffy is my gal.
Yeah.
Not your gal. I mean, Faith can be your gal. Because we all know that you two had some happiness together.
He's like, if you want that one.
You had a bad track record with women there, Xander.
But I don't understand why they're not attacking Angel there.
Yeah, they absolutely should.
They have no idea what is happening.
They absolutely should.
Yeah.
And it's crucial that Giles isn't there too for
It is
what we
really
find
crucial,
out.
yeah.
What we find out later on, which makes, and I mean, there's some crazy shit happening with this.
Yeah. That's why I just don't get why that happened. And none of this tracks actually either of how this twist works.
But yeah, so Faith runs away and Buffy's left there on her knees.
Confirmation, she does kiss her on the forehead.
She does kiss her on the forehead? Okay.
Yeah, she literally says, you don't have this in you.
I must have been writing a note when that happened.
Pushes the blade away, pulls her head and kisses her on the forehead, and then like runs off.
And Buffy's there on her knees, stunned.
And I'm like, get up and chase her.
Somebody chase her.
Angel's there. Xander's there. Like, Willow, you hate this girl. Chase her. If you chase her, at least Buffy has to follow you. Like, it is insane how they just let her run away. And I thought about this. I would have preferred it if she had a smoke bomb and just threw a smoke bomb down and ran away. We just need some reason for her to be able to just walk away.
Honestly, dude, they didn't even do that thing where they run to the door.
Uh-huh.
They just all watch her run away. Like,
usually
they run to the door and then they're like, they got away.
The people who just showed up are just looking at her like, they don't even know what happened. Like, if you're Wesley, you're just standing there like, what? What's that? And then Angel's standing next to you and no one's like freaking out about him.
Nope. Yeah. So now we go to the library and the ninja demon, the Mortal Kombat demon from earlier, is in the library and he's talking to Giles. And he goes, "This restores the balance between us, Rupert, Giles." And Giles goes, I know. He goes, the demon goes, "Now you never should ever call upon me again." And Giles goes, "I shan't." And then the demon, his face turns to like a normal guy face. And he slowly, it does, dude. Like his eyes turn from red to like a normal guy color. His skin turns to like a normal dude skin, it looks like. And he backs up into the shadows and just dissipates into nothing. And then
they got to get better security in the library.
Dude. And then Giles walks down the stairs and they're like, "So they said that the balance is restored between you. What does that mean? What did you do?"
The debt has been paid.
Yeah. Oh, the debt has been paid. Yeah. And they're like, "So what did you do? What does that mean?" And Giles goes, "I introduced him to his wife." And I was like, what is happening? I need to see a Giles prequel.
Well,
stat.
Giles has gone from just like reading stuff in the books and being a little lame to have conjured demons, was talking to the spirits of the future or whatever.
The fates.
The fates. And now this guy that we've never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Wesley's like, I can't believe that you did this. You called upon a demon. Nobody told me that Angelus, nobody let me in on this plan. I'm telling the council, like a little brat. Mm-hmm. And Giles is like, yeah, you actually should. We've got a rogue slayer going about town who is murderous. And you should definitely do that.
She was under your watch.
Yeah. And
why is there one watcher for two slayers? It doesn't make sense.
So then they're like, all right, so what do we know now about this mayor's plan and the Ascension? Like, well, we know that the Ascension is going to take place on graduation day. And Xander is like, I mean, can somebody please apologize to me? Angel was acting this whole time. He punched the shit out of me. And Buffy goes, he was just acting. He was just acting, Xander. And she says it, and she doesn't look like she's convinced that he was acting.
No, she says it was just an act. And then she's realizing the opening scene. This is like a reference to the opening scene of him being like, oh, it doesn't bother me that we're not able to hook up and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's weighing on her, that she's like, oh yeah, he's just kind of putting on an act with me a little bit. We got to talk about this twist though.
Yes,
right
we absolutely do.
Yeah, let's talk about this twist before we get to this very end. When did Buffy get let in on this?
How did Giles know to call upon that demon? How did he know that was going to be the mayor's plan?
Yes, that is the beginning. How did he know? Unless the mayor called him. Unless the mayor called that demon. And then that demon said, oh, I owe Giles a favor. This will be the favor. That's the only way that works.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, we explained that one away.
Okay. And I just thought of that on my, just now, because I had no thought. So, okay, so the mayor calls that demon. That demon's like, hey, all right, I'll do this.
Isn't this where Giles lives? Huh.
Hey,
This is my old friend Giles.
Giles has a slayer. Oh, maybe
they're having a cup of tea. How's the wife?
Maybe I can
what
get
are
out
you
of
up?
that.
What are you up to? What you doing in Sunnydale? Oh, this mayor, he asked me to do this shit.
Yeah. Okay. So then he tells Giles.
Mm-hmm.
Then Giles tells Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Or Angel first. Because Buffy's still jealous before they come over.
Or
has she been pretending to be jealous the whole time?
Yeah. That's what I'm curious about. Or is
I don't think she could have been jealous the first time she saw her hug him, because that's before the mayor hires that guy. And by our timeline, they don't get the information until that guy shows up.
Yeah, and the mayor doesn't hire the demon until Faith is unsuccessful in seducing him.
Yes.
So,
the
timeline of events. No, it's a great twist, but it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
The timeline of events. Buffy sees Faith and Angel getting really close and intimate. Mm-hmm. Faith goes to the mayor, says, we'll just do it the old torturous way. Mm-hmm. Mayor hires the demon to do his bidding and take the soul out of Angel. Mm-hmm. Demon and Giles have tea while he's in town. Demon tells Giles, hey, I'm working with the mayor. Giles goes, oh, that's interesting. I want you to double cross that mayor and act like you're going to steal the soul of Angel. But make it theatrical. Make it actually look like something's happening.
Yeah, do the light show that you do.
Then they do the spell. They make it look like Angel. And when does Angel get informed of this?
No, when does Buffy and Angel get informed? Because Buffy still doesn't seem like she knows when she goes to see the dead demon.
Okay, so back up. Let's back up.
Yeah.
Giles and Demon have tea. Giles tells him to betray the mayor. Giles goes and tells Buffy and Angel this plan. Right?
When? Before they find the demon?
It has to happen before they find
the
demon.
Is it before the talk with Willow? Because Buffy's talk during the Willow thing isn't for anyone. You know what I mean? Okay. She has to still think that he's not there.
Buffy and Willow have the talk. Buffy's still in the dark about the plan.
Yeah.
Willow says, go talk to Angel about it. Mm-hmm. She goes to talk to Angel about it. Giles is already there telling him the plan.
Yeah.
We're doing this is so many leaps, dude.
And then they go back to the meeting.
Yeah.
In the library. And then she's like, I'm just going to go home and pack my bags for weapons. And I know they will come and get me there.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Because she's supposed to go investigate the mayor then.
Yeah. But I'm going to go get weapons. They show up there and then take her to the mansion.
Yeah. And then the rest of it plays out.
Maybe she thought it would happen at the mayor's office. Or maybe Angel's the one that came up with the plan that, we'll take her back here to torture. And she knew that. And I guess they are on the phone sometime between scenes.
We're trying to excuse this nonsensical plot.
It's a great twist, but I don't know when people... It's a great twist. I just don't know when people figured it all out.
Dude, honestly, when Angel said second best, I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then he revealed to be regular Angel, and then Buffy. I was like, oh, fuck. And then, dude, when Giles was talking with the demon, I was like, wait.
So here's my biggest one. When Angel threw the letter opener at the heart of the mayor, did he know he was invincible?
Don't. Maybe Faith filled him in.
I guess she would have. I didn't.
Because she did say, like, let me get you acquainted with the real power in this town.
Yeah, the real power, but that doesn't necessarily say, oh, he's invincible.
They had to walk to the mayor's office.
And she's like, hey, he's invincible.
Yeah. But did Faith know? I guess the mayor told her off screen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if Faith even knew.
Look, there's a lot of knowledge being done. A lot of plot being explained off screen that we need to like justify ourselves.
Like, I think Angel would be like, cool, I figured out that the mayor's invincible because I attacked him. But like, if he wasn't,
yeah, then he just killed the guy. Just killed a politician.
Or I don't think Angel would care. He knows the guy's bad.
Yeah. Like, see, this is what.
Yeah.
Like, I was all for it. Like, when Angel said second best actor, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he just like faked it. You know, he faked it. The demon spell didn't work or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But then when Giles and the demon, like, this was all our plan from the start. That's when I was like, well, now this makes no sense.
Once Buffy is like, I'm in on this too.
Yeah.
Like, then you're like, wait, this was a whole thing? Because if it was just Angel pretending, then that makes total sense.
Yes. And
it would make a lot of sense because I was like, is it that easy just to get a soul out of him? Because we went through a whole like ball and orb of Thessala, and this guy just did a light show and did it. I was like, that worked. So I thought, I'm with you. When he said second best, I was like, perfect. He's been pretending. But then it's like Giles knew, Buffy knew.
Yeah, like, the demon knew.
Yeah. So
that's where like the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now we're at Faith's apartment, and Faith is looking out the big window, and she's so sad. She can't believe that she got tricked. She's such a dumbass. She's got called a loser, which is the worst thing that could ever happen to anybody. And the mayor's there, and he's comforting. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. I think about it more of like batting averages, you know? Don't worry about it. We'll get this together. And then Faye's like, no, you don't understand, man. I made an ass of myself. They made an ass of me. And the mayor's like, you know what? I see that you're sad. And I've got just the thing that is going to cheer you up. 2 words. Miniature golf. And just starts chuckling his little head off. And Faith is looking at him like, this guy is absolutely insane. And then she starts chuckling.
Yeah, like, it's like, this guy's so crazy, like, I can't help but be, like, enamored by this guy.
Yeah. She's like, this guy's serious.
Yeah.
He thinks, like, we're dealing with immortal demons. This guy's invincible. We tried to steal the soul of a vampire. I killed his buddy. I killed 2 of his buddies. And he wants to go play putt-putt. Like...
It's amazing. This mayor's just delightfully evil. I love it.
Yeah. So then we go to Buffy, and she is walking, and she goes up to Angel's mansion. And Angel, and things are awkward between them because even though it was all an act, you know, she still saw Faith and him making out, and she's feeling bad because she can't give him the happy. And Angel's like, look, I'm sorry that it went this far. I didn't know that we were going to be going this far with this. I didn't plan on this, but we had to do it for the sake of the mission.
He made out with her immediately after the turn.
Oh, yeah, he did. Buffy, I had to convince her.
And she's never met Angelus.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's never been Angelus. So, yeah.
Buffy, I had to make it real. I had to make it convincing. Sure, I let her suck my dick. Well, it had to be convincing.
Angelus would let it happen.
Yeah, dude, I ate her out for fucking hours. I did it for you, Buffy.
God.
And Buffy is like, look, dude, I know that it was all an act. I know that this was all part of the plan. But I need a break. We need to go on break. And Angel's like, I understand. And then Buffy starts to walk away and he goes, you still my girl though, right?
It's so true.
And Buffy goes, always. And that's the end of the episode.
And I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So,
this is just like...
When are we going to get some Ross and Rachel? We were on a break
we're on a
situation.
This is so... It's so bad. I mean, it's not bad, but like, I just don't care about this. Like them dating and not dating and dating and not dating. It's like, what? You shouldn't have been dating before. No one should be cool with you dating Angel.
Yeah, no, it absolutely should not be happening.
I think I'm more for Wesley and Cordelia than I am for Buffy and Angel.
You know, that's a good point. I think I am too.
Yeah, one doesn't destroy everybody.
One doesn't. I mean,
they're
both.
One's questionable morality wise. I think Cordelia's probably 18, so like legally, it's fine.
Yeah.
And the age difference, if he's like 30 and she's 18, like 40 and 28, you know, like it's fine enough. Like, I don't think it's cool, but I would take that over her with the vampire who might turn if they slip up.
Yeah.
And then kill everyone.
And also pedophilia.
Yeah. That one's
because she is 17.
Yeah, she's 17. Yes, he has hooked up with someone that's 17, and he is thousands of years old, but I think he was at least 26 when he turned.
No, he's hundreds.
Hundreds.
240 or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, and he's dating a high school junior. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, senior this year.
He slept with her when she was a junior.
Fair. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wesley has yet to murder anyone. So both questionable age situations, but Wesley has it in his back pocket that he hasn't murdered anyone.
Yeah, and he didn't stalk a person for years before falling for them.
True. Very true. Very true.
I do have one question that
Okay.
I thought about when Angelus came back. Are we ever going to find out why he was sent back from hell?
I think it was the power of love.
No. Remember that episode with that like demon and the people that were worshiping, and they were like, "Oh, we brought you back for a reason." Remember the one that
right.
The calendar?
Yeah, and then he comes over to Giles' house. He's like, I don't know why I was brought back.
Yeah, and then that thing is like, fine, I guess we'll have to use him for another reason. Like, I'm hoping that comes back because he just came back from hell, unexplained, to start the season.
We'll probably figure it out. He came back to have a spinoff. Came back to have his own series for 5 seasons on the CW or WB or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode. That is Enemies, everybody. You got any last thoughts on Enemies?
Faith is bad.
Faith is bad. Like, we were like, this might be some kind of undercover mission. It is not.
No, she was going to literally torture Buffy.
Yeah. And the whole plan is so confusing. The whole plot of this episode is so confusing. I think that we mapped it out as best as we could. Tell us in our Discord.
Yeah, I want to hear. Yeah, hop on the Discord and let us know what you think about this twist. Does it hold up to scrutiny? Because we can't figure out how everyone knew about it.
Like a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of conveniences and contrivances and all kinds of C words.
I think I think you're right. If it was just Angel that was doing the trick, and even Buffy's like, "Wow, that was a great act." Yeah. I think it just works and it holds. But then, like introducing like Giles knew the demon from introducing it to his wife.
Oh yeah, me and that guy, we go way back.
Yeah.
That is it, everybody. Thank you for listening. Next episode, Vance, is titled Earshot. I'm
going to go on a limb and just say this is almost wishful thinking. I want someone at the school to overhear something and actually like take it in. Like, they actually overhear the Scooby Gang talking about a demon thing and react to it appropriately.
Yeah, tell the principal.
No, or just like, whoa, wait, so vampires exist? Like,
yeah,
wait,
what if it's like that and they're like, I'm going to tell everyone, and the Scooby Gang's like, you can't tell everyone, and it's all like trying to silence this kid.
You can't tell everyone because they all saw it at the Bronze the other day.
You can't tell everyone because everyone already knows. Yeah. Everyone, if they don't know, they're stupid.
Yeah.
There's like 60 people at the Bronze.
I'm still waiting for that part where like everyone says, hey, Willow, are you still a vampire?
Yeah. But that is it. That is our prediction for Earshot. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please join our Discord. The link is in the show notes. Please join our Patreon. We are going to do some fun stuff on that. Some extra stuff. Right now, it's just general support, $1 a month. But we have had discussions. We think we've mapped out a plan for our tiers and the additional content that you're going to get from me and Vance. So the tier system's coming, everybody. So join that. Follow the Instagram at Boys Watching Buffy. Write in the email, boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. And yeah, rate and review, all that stuff. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And stay tuned for our next episode when we talk about Earshot.
I've got 2 words that are going to make all the pain go away. Miniature. Golf.
Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.